So happy birthday to you. We're still celebrating with those who are celebrating birthdays and even other anniversaries, right? So happy birthday to you. May the Lord be good to you, and may his mercies and grace be seen tangibly in your lives. You know what to do now. If it's somebody's birthday, someone special to you, you can send us their pictures, add the message to it, and then we'll be sure to celebrate with you. It's My Dominion TV on all social media platforms. Let's say a good morning to the Bank Hospital and thank you for supporting the morning show. So for all your health needs, you want to check them out at the Bank Hospital. It's located at Cantonment, opposite NAFTI. You want to get there, you can book an appointment. They're on all social media platforms. It's just the Bank Hospital. You can book an appointment and you can see a doctor, or you can just walk in and get it checked. The Bank Hospital has clinics. There's a stroke clinic. There is urology clinic and all of that. There's the sickle cell clinic. You can get in there and fix anything or ask anything concerning your health. And also, for those who are food lovers, here is good news for you. Now, Gino tomato mix is the best thing that ever happens to your soups, stews, jollof. You know the Ghanaian jollof, the way we go about it, and all those amazing foods that we can prepare. It's rich, it's red, and it's tasty. So you want to get a Gino tomato mix and then make some delicious meals for your family. I'm talking delicious and also nutritious. Vitamin A, B3, and all of that is found in the Gino tomato mix. And this advert is voted and approved by the FDA. Okay, now it's time for us to get on with news, right? To know what's happening on the international and on the local front by way of Wake Up Buzz. Right, district assemblies to receive 25 million Ghana cedi in 2025. The finance minister says. So yesterday, the finance minister was in Parliament. And let me just read this real quick. It says, Finance Minister Dr. Cassiel Ato-Forson has announced that district assemblies across the country will receive a minimum of 25 million Ghana cedi each in 2025 to drive local economic development and deepen decentralization. Addressing Parliament on Tuesday, June 3rd, Dr. Forson said the allocation is part of a broader strategy to empower local governance and ensure national resources reach the grassroots. Government is guaranteeing that approximately 6.1 billion Ghana cedi of the 7.57 billion earmarked for 2025 will be disbursed directly to the local assemblies to spur local economic activities at the district level, he said. He added, and I quote, Mr. Speaker, in view of that, every district assembly will receive a minimum of 25 million Ghana cedi this year, 2025. Our resources extend beyond mere release of funds, but have taken decisive steps to ensure that these resources are utilized in line with the government's economic objectives, unquote. So this announcement actually comes off after a sharp criticism from the minority who accused the finance minister of deliberately withholding funds from key government institutions despite clear legal obligations and availability of resources nearly 6 months into the new administration. So in answering back, they are giving to each district assembly 25 million. Now the question will be, how would this be dispersed? They said that they're going to see to it that it is dispersed properly. Now, would we have a system to check how these monies are used so that there's no district assembly fund that is used for personal gains? So these are the questions that we're asking. What are the schemes in place so that we're able to account for these monies, and then how we can actually tell, even in the communities, how these monies have improved our lives. Now, that's the way to go. I won't shield anyone from anti-corruption probes, Mahama says. Now, President John Dramani Mahama has firmly reiterated his commitment to the independence of Ghana's anti-corruption agencies and assuring that he will not interfere with ongoing investigations or influence any cases to be dropped. The president made this known during a meeting with the African Union Advisory Board Against Corruption at the Jubilee House on Tuesday, May 3rd, where he emphasized his respect for the rule of law and prosecutorial independence. I have told the public and assured my Attorney General and Minister of Justice that I am not going to interfere with their work. If the anti-corruption agencies go after anybody, I am not going to try to influence them or to drop any investigation against anybody, including those who served in the previous regime, many cases of whom are currently under investigation. That's what the president says. So if you're a government official and you're hoping that you do something illicit and the arms of the government would shield you, well, there you have it. You're left bare for the law to deal with. So let's do right, even in our little offices, so that at the end of the day, Ghana is corruption-free. Can we try that? It starts with you, right? Three school children injured in Kaswa Ofanko electricity cable collapse. Horror. Three pupils are in critical condition and receiving treatment at St. Joe's Clinic at the Kaswa Polyclinic after a high-tension cable fell on them at Kaswa Ofanko in the Ewutu Senya East municipality of the Central Region. The unfortunate incident happened on Monday behind the Kaswa Ofanko Sports Stadium on the Ofanko J River Road. Residents told Adum News, that's a sister station, that a high-tension line had been faulty for several months, frequently sparking fires. Despite lodging complaints with the ECG, no action was taken, and this is the effect of it. Oh my God. They say they are still in shock over how the cable fell on the children after school hours. Well, according to eyewitnesses who rushed on the victims and took them to the hospital, they reported that they suffered severe burns, with two of them unconscious. Well, we're praying that these children would have good treatment from the hospitals and none of them would die. But this is it. First off, it's the raining season, and you want to keep safe from such things. Tall buildings, electric poles, billboards, because you may never know. Because as it rains, all these things get weakened at the base, right? So you want to be extra careful. And please, if we can adopt, school busing or maybe transporting children after school at this time, that will really help. But we pray for these kids that, they'll find some help and they'll get back to the classroom as soon as possible. Government clears all SSNIT arrears, Finance Minister says. Now, the Minister of Finance has assured the newly inaugurated Board of Trustees of the Social Security and National Insurance Trust, SSNIT, at the government that the government has cleared all arrears owed to the fund. Now, speaking during the inauguration in Accra, Dr. Forson reaffirmed the government's commitment to sustaining Ghana's pension system, stating all outstanding obligations to SSNIT have been fully honored. I quote, "I want to assure you that the government is current on all payments due to SSNIT," and unquote, he said. "We are determined to continue honoring these obligations to safeguard the pensions of Ghanaian workers. Now, the Director General of SSNIT, Kwesi Afre-Baini, confirmed the payment and added that the government has not only cleared arrears it inherited, but also fulfilled all current commitments to the fund. Now, the assurance comes in the wake of heightened public scrutiny surrounding the management of pension funds, as well as renewed calls for transparency in SSNIT's investment decisions. Now, Dr. Forson's remarks are expected to boost public confidence in the fund's financial stability and government's continued dedication to protection of the retirement of beneficiaries of the scheme. And to our next story, Ofori-Atta to undergo prostate cancer surgery on June 13th. OSP says it hasn't received any medical letter. A letter circulating online and purported to be from Mayo Clinic in the United States indicates that the former Finance Minister Ken Ofori-Atta has been diagnosed with prostate cancer and is expected to undergo surgery on June 13, 2025. The medical letter, which is now in a public domain, is from the clinic's Department of Urology, indicated that the diagnosis followed a series of diagnostic tests, including MRI scans and biopsy. Dr. Prahas Shah is scheduled to lead the surgical procedure. The letter also noted that Mr. Ofori-Atta would need a period to recover before he could return to Ghana. However, the Office of the Special Prosecutor, in reaction to the letter in a statement on June 3, 2025, refuted having any knowledge of the medical letter from the hospital. The OSP clarified that neither Ofori-Atta nor his lawyers have submitted any such letter to the Special Prosecutor. The OSP explained that the only correspondence received from Ofori-Atta's legal representatives is a letter notifying the OSP of a purported change in Ofori-Atta's medical condition. The OSP bemoaned that the hospital's letter has been circulated through social media rather than submitted to the law enforcement agency actively investigating Ofori-Atta. And I quote, "To date, no certified medical report or official document from any hospital authority has been submitted to the OSP indicating that Mr. Ofori-Atta is incapacitated or unable to travel to Ghana," unquote. This is from the desk of the Special Prosecutor. So, according to them, the letters are on social media, but they have not officially received any letters. Listening to the lawyers, they also said that they submitted these letters a few weeks ago. But let's see how this finally ends. Whether after the surgery he would come or if there's no surgery at all. But there's also, the OSP is also actually still insisting that there's a personal, or they have him in person for the investigation. See how that goes. Three witnesses give testimonies in 49.1 million fraud trial of the NSB ex-boss, Edu Boahene. Right, so three witnesses testify in the trial of former NSB Director General Kwabena Edu Boahene and accomplices for allegedly diverting 49.1 million Ghana cedis. The prosecution of Kwabena Edu Boahene, the former Director General of the National Signals Bureau, his wife, Angela Ejay Boateng, the associate Mildred Donkor, and their jointly owned company, Advantage Solutions Limited, is intensifying as 3 key witnesses have provided testimonies in court. The 4 are currently standing trial for multiple counts, including stealing, causing financial loss to the state, and conspiracy, relating to the alleged diversion of 49.1 million Ghana cedi public funds. At the heart of the case is alleged diversion of 49.1 million from the Bureau of National Communications, BNC, the predecessor to NCB, under the guise of purchasing a cyber defense system that investigators say was never delivered. So this is it. This is an add-on to the case that is already ongoing. And this came up, I think, yesterday. So there's been 3 witnesses to this case that have testimonies that, shows that there's been some sort of fraudulent activities that went on. Still on the Adu Boahene case. Let's see how that ends. And let's see if we get our monies back, because that's all we want, justice to prevail. Moving on to the next story. So registered nurses, announces withdrawal of emergency services as part of ongoing industrial action. So the Ghana Registered Nurses and Midwives Association has called on its members to withdraw all emergency services as part of its ongoing strike action. In addition, GRAMA has also withdrawn outpatient department services and outlined a roadmap for its industrial action. In a sequel statement to its earlier announcement of the strike action, the association called on all nurses and midwives to remain focused, resolute, and unperturbed. You are hereby informed that withdrawal of OPD services should go along with withdrawal of emergency services, a statement issued on 3rd June 2025. Now, the association urged all nurses and midwives to participate in the industrial actions. Now, here it is. More than 128,000 nurses and midwives across Ghana on May 28th, 2025, declared a nationwide strike action over government's continued delay in implementing agreed conditions of service. So the president of the association, Perpetua Ofori Ampofo, outlined a roadmap for the planned industrial action. So according to them, now from June 2nd to June 3rd, 2025, nurses and midwives will wear red bands and headbands in protest. And then from 4th to 8th June, they'll withdraw all outpatients. So OPD, if you have headache and stuff like that, you can go for OPD services. And then from 9th June, they would totally withdraw all their services. That's nursing and midwifery services. And that's the update on the strike action. Well, there's some negotiation that's about to happen so that we see, because these promises are from the erstwhile government. And so negotiations should be going on for us to see what to do. If nurses and midwives withdraw their services, that's disaster, right? And we shouldn't watch this to happen. Let's get on with international news, shall we? South Africa's ex-president loses bid to have arms deal graft charges dropped. So a High Court judge in South Africa on Tuesday dismissed the application for former President Jacob Zuma to end his graft trial. Zuma, together with French company Thales, are facing charges including corruption, money laundering, racketeering that dates back to a 1999 multi-billion rand arms deal. Together, they had applied to have all of them dropped, claiming that repeated delays in the death of two witnesses had irritably prejudiced their right to fair trial. But the judge said that while he did not want to apportion blame, the state had argued that the delays were largely caused by the ex-president and to a lesser degree, the French company. Right, so it's been thrown out of court. The case would still continue. Mali suspends artisanal gold mining activities during rainy season. Mali has suspended artisanal gold mining activities from June to September to protect workers from landslides during the rainy season. The Malian Mines Ministry said on Tuesday. The ministry said the meteorological services have forecast heavy rains from 15th June through to 30th September 2025. A spokesperson for the ministry told the news agency that the government has suspended granting of new artisanal mining permits to foreigners in March, and after two accidents killed dozens of people, mostly women. Oh no. So more than 70 people have died in January 2024 when a tunnel collapsed in an unregulated gold mine. Now, deadly accidents are frequent as artisanal miners often use old-fashioned and unregulated methods of digging. Illegal mining also increases safety risks. So artisanal mining in West Africa has increased in recent years due to growing demand and rising of prices. So because of the raining season, these activities have been put on hold. I think we should also take a cue from that and see how we can also reduce these mining activities to save lives. Devastating milestone. More than 4 million people have fled Sudan since start of civil war. Now, Sudan's war has reached a devastating milestone. The United Nations is warning, with more than 4 million people fleeing from the country since the start of its civil war. Now, more than 800,000 people have crossed into neighboring Chad since the outbreak of fighting in April 2023, joining some 400,000 Sudanese refugees who have fled their earlier waves of conflict in Darfur. Now, the most recent influx into Chad began in April 2025 following violent attacks that armed groups in North Darfur. In just over a month, more than 68,000 refugees have arrived in Chad's Wadi Fira and in Nedi East provinces, with an average of 1,400 people crossing to the border every day, according to the United Nations Refugee Agency. My God, this is really huge. The effect of war is never a good thing. Never a good thing. Now, let's go on to the Kony case. ICC hearing over Ugandan rebel leader to proceed in absentia. Now, Appeals judges at the International Criminal Court on Tuesday gave their final green light for proceedings against Ugandan rebel leader Joseph Kony to carry on. The court scheduled confirmation of charges hearing from September. Prosecutors will present evidence to back up charges of war crimes and crimes against humanity against Kony. The hearing will be held in absentia, a first for the tribunal, as Kony's whereabouts remain unknown. The appeals chamber's judgment confirms several decisions made by the ICC over the past 2 years. Now, former German Foreign Minister Baerbock, right, to lead UN General Assembly. Now, Germany's Annalena Baerbock, was elected by secret ballot Monday to be presented to the United Nations General Assembly at its 80th session. In accordance with the established regional rotation, the president of the 18th session of the General Assembly is to be elected from the Western European and other states group. Baerbock obtained 167 votes. Congratulations, Baerbock. And to our next story, Nigeria's defense chief proposes fencing borders to curb insecurity. This news is coming from Abuja. Nigeria's defense chief on Tuesday called for country's borders with its 4 neighbors to be completely fenced to curb the entrance of armed groups amid escalating insecurity. Nigeria's military has been strained by widespread security issues, particularly a 16-year insurgency in the northeast led by Islamic militant group Boko Haram and its offshore Islamic State West Africa province. Security forces and civilians have been attacked and killed, and tens of thousands of people have been displaced. And to the very last story, Senegal aims to raise tax collection to cut reliance on external funding. Now, Senegal plans to boost tax compliance to increase revenue and reduce reliance on financing from external sources like the International Monetary Fund, its Prime Minister, Ousmane Sonko, has said. The West African nation is engaging with the IMF to craft a resolution following a case of misreporting of debut debt and deficit levels, which led to the suspension of its $1.8 billion financing program with the fund. And there it is for international news. Now that makes it for Wake Up Buzz, keeping you updated on international and local news. How about we go for a break, and then when we return, the program will continue.